Let me tell you something. Relationships ain't just about love. They're about growth, about alignment, about two people who refuse to quit, even when it gets hard. See, too many people today want the vibe without the values. They want chemistry, but they don't want commitment. They want someone to hold them, but not someone who'll hold them accountable. Let me break it down like this. A real man doesn't need a woman to complete him. He needs a woman who competes with his weakness and complements his purpose. And a real woman, she don't need a man to save her. She's been saving herself for years, all. She just needs a man who won't waste her healing. See, when a man doesn't know who he is, he'll treat a good woman like a burden. And when a woman doesn't know her worth, she'll treat an average man like a king. That's why before you meet somebody, you got to meet yourself first. If you don't heal what hurt you, you'll bleed on someone who didn't cut you. Now listen, a strong relationship ain't built on how much you love each other when it's easy. It's built on how much you respect each other when it's tough. When life hits hard, bills pile up, dreams feel far. That's when you see the difference between a partner and a placeholder. A partner will push you. A placeholder will drain you. A partner will say, "We got this." A placeholder will say, "You got this." You hear the difference. Ladies, stop chasing men who only like your body but never study your soul. If he doesn't invest in your peace, he's not qualified for your presence. And fellas, stop picking women based on beauty alone. Find the woman who challenges your excuses. Find the woman who prays for you when you can't pray for yourself. That woman, that's your blessing disguised as a storm. See, love isn't about finding someone perfect. It's about finding someone who chooses you every day, even when you're not easy to love. Because let's be honest, nobody's perfect, but the right person makes you want to be better. When a man steps into his purpose and a woman steps into her peace, God connects them not to complete each other, but to elevate each other. So, to every man out there, be the kind of man who protects, provides, and prays, not just the kind who posts and pretends. And to every woman out there, be the kind of woman who loves deeply, but never forgets her worth. Don't lower your standards to keep a man. Raise your vibration until the right one recognizes it. Because the truth is, when a real man meets a real woman, they don't play games, they build empires. They don't just fall in love, they rise in purpose. They don't compete against each other. They complete their calling together. That's when love becomes something different. Not a fairy tale, but a faith story. Let me tell you something straight from the heart. Before you go chasing love, before you go trying to find that perfect person, you got to stop and look in the mirror and ask yourself, Am I healed yet? Because too many people out here are trying to build something real with broken bricks. You can't build a mansion on a cracked foundation. You can't pour love from an empty cup. You can't give peace when you're still fighting your own storms inside. Healing isn't optional, it's essential. See, the problem is we live in a time where everybody wants quick love. They want to move from heartbreak to healing in 2 weeks. They want to post pictures, change the status, and call it moving on. But healing don't work like that. Healing takes silence. It takes reflection. It takes those lonely nights where you cry not because of them, but because you finally realized what you allowed. You start to see that love doesn't hurt. Unhealed people do. And let me tell you, when you don't heal, you repeat. You'll keep attracting the same kind of person in a different body, wondering why every relationship feels the same. That's not bad luck. That's an unhealed pattern. You're trying to fill an emotional hole with another human being. And all that does is make the hole deeper. You got to stop trying to fix your pain with people who didn't cause it. That's like taking the wrong medicine and wondering why you're still sick. When you heal, everything changes. You stop chasing validation. You stop begging for attention. You stop accepting almost love because you start realizing your worth, the real thing. You no longer fall for potential. You wait for consistency. Healing teaches you patience, not with others, but with yourself. You start seeing love as a blessing, not a bandage. And let me say this loud and clear. You cannot expect someone to stay loyal to your wounds. That's not their job. Their job is to love you, not to fix you. Healing is your responsibility. Because when you don't deal with what broke you, you'll bleed on someone who didn't cut you. That's why I always say, before you bring someone into your heart, clean the house. Sweep out the bitterness, throw out the jealousy, dust off the insecurity, and make room for something real. When you finally do the work, when you forgive, when you let go, when you stop replaying the pain, you become dangerous in the best way. You become someone who no longer needs to be loved out of loneliness. You start loving out of abundance. You're not searching for a savior. You're searching for a partner. And that's when love starts to feel peaceful instead of painful. So, if you're waiting for that right person, don't rush it. Prepare for them. Heal your heart so when they arrive, you can love them from your wholeness, not from your wounds. Because the truth is, love can only thrive where healing has already taken place. Let me tell you something. A real man doesn't complete a woman. He complements her purpose. That's the difference between ordinary love and divine connection. See, we've been taught that we're supposed to find our other half like we're walking around incomplete, waiting for someone to fill the empty spaces inside us. But that's not love. That's dependency dressed up as romance. Real love is not two halves coming together to make one. It's two whole people walking side by side, building something greater together. A strong man doesn't come into a woman's life to rescue her. He comes to respect her, to support her dreams, to bring peace where she already has power. He doesn't dim her light. He protects it. Because a man who's secure in his own purpose will never feel threatened by a woman who knows hers. He understands that her success doesn't weaken him. It strengthens the team. When a real man sees a woman winning, he doesn't compete, he contributes. He doesn't say, "You're too much." He says, "Baby, keep going. I got you." And a real woman, she doesn't lose herself loving a man. She doesn't shrink to make him comfortable. She doesn't silence her vision just to make him feel bigger. No, she loves with strength, not submission. She loves in a way that uplifts, that inspires, that reminds a man who he is when the world tries to make him forget. A real woman is not a man's shadow. She's his mirror. She reflects his potential, his faith, and his future right back to him. The problem today is that too many people confuse control with love. A weak man wants to dominate. A real man wants to develop. He knows that when a woman stands in her power, the relationship becomes unstoppable. Because love is not about who leads. It's about how well you walk together. Let me be real with you. When two people are truly aligned, they multiply each other's purpose. She'll push him to chase his dreams. When he wants to quit, he'll remind her of her strength. When she starts to doubt herself, together, they build an atmosphere where both can grow. That's not fantasy. That's faith in action. That's what God designed love to look like: partnership, not possession. So fellas, stop looking for women you can control and start seeking women you can build with. And ladies, stop giving your energy to men who fear your greatness. The right man will see your fire and bring more wood to it. He'll be proud to stand beside you, not above you. Let me tell you something. Love might start the fire, but respect is what keeps it burning. You can have chemistry, you can have passion. You can have all those butterflies that make your heart race. But if there's no respect, that love won't last, because respect is the foundation. It's the roof that keeps love from collapsing when the storms come. People think relationships fall apart because of money, distance, or arguments. No, they fall apart because somewhere along the way, respect left the room. When you respect someone, you don't talk to them any kind of way just because you're angry. You don't use silence to punish them. You don't make them feel small just to feel big. Respect is about how you handle someone's heart, especially when you're mad at them. Anybody can be sweet when everything's going good, But it takes maturity to still speak with kindness when emotions are high. That's where real love shows up, not in the calm, but in the conflict. C, love makes you say, I want to be with you. But respect makes you say, even when I don't like what you did, I still value who you are. That's powerful. Because when you lose respect, you lose safety. And when people don't feel safe, they stop being honest. They start hiding their feelings. They start pretending everything's fine, but deep down, they're checking out. That's how love dies, quietly, in the absence of respect. A real man respects a woman not just when she agrees with him, but when she challenges him. He doesn't see her strength as disrespect. He sees it as balance. He understands that a woman with a voice is not a threat. She's a gift. And a real woman respects a man not because he's perfect, but because he's trying. She sees his effort, his growth, his fight, and she appreciates it. Respect is mutual, not earned once, but maintained daily. Let's be honest, you can't keep love alive without respect. You can say, I love you 100 times a day, but if you lie, cheat, or humiliate your partner, those words mean nothing. Because love is a feeling, but respect is a decision. And every day you choose to either honor your partner or hurt them. Every tone, every word, every action, it all speaks louder than, I love you. I've seen couples survive the hardest storms, sickness, loss, distance, because they respected each other. And I've seen others fall apart with everything they ever wanted, simply because they stopped treating each other right. So don't chase the butterflies. Build the foundation. Don't just fall in love, stand in respect. Because when you have that, even when love feels distant, respect will hold you together until love finds its way back. Let me tell you something. One of the hardest lessons in love is learning to stop settling for almost. Almost love is that type that looks right the outside, but deep down, you know something's missing. It's when someone gives you just enough to keep you hoping, but never enough to keep you secure. And the truth is, too many people are stuck in almost because they're afraid to be alone. But I'll tell you this, being alone while healing is better than being together while breaking. Almost love is dangerous because it feels real. It gives you moments, but not commitment. It gives you attention, but not effort. It gives you promises, but not consistency. And because it feels good sometimes, you convince yourself it's love. You start making excuses. They're just busy. They'll change. They just need time. But deep down, you know when someone truly values you and when someone's just keeping you around for convenience. Real love doesn't confuse you. It doesn't make you question where you stand. It doesn't leave you anxious, waiting for a text. wondering if you're enough. Real love gives peace, not panic. But you can't find that if you keep entertaining people who only show up when it's easy. You can't build a future with someone who only wants you part-time. If they can't match your energy, your faith, your effort, they're not your forever. They're your lesson. See, settling for almost love comes from fear. Fear of being lonely. Fear of starting over. Fear that maybe you won't find anyone better. But that's a lie your pain tells you. Because the moment you stop settling, you make room for something greater. The universe doesn't reward comfort. It rewards courage. When you walk away from almost, you're telling God, I'm ready for more. Let's be real. Sometimes you gotta let go of what you want so you can receive what you deserve. Stop watering dead plants and calling it love. If they can't meet you halfway, stop walking the whole distance. If they only love the version of you that's easy to handle, then they don't deserve the real you. The right person will not make you beg for attention. They'll give it freely. They won't make you question your worth. They'll confirm it. You owe it to yourself to wait for the kind of love that's consistent, intentional, and honest. The kind of love that doesn't leave you guessing. The kind of love that prays with you, not preys on you. You don't need someone to complete you. You need someone who celebrates you. So stop giving discounts to people who can't afford your full value. Let me tell you something. When real love shows up, it doesn't drain you, it develops you. It doesn't pull you backward, it pushes you higher. Because real love isn't built on control, it's built on contribution. When a real man meets a real woman, both their lives level up. They stop surviving and start building. They stop competing and start completing their purpose. That's what true connection looks like. It's not just two hearts coming together. It's two visions aligning under one purpose. See, when love is real, it becomes a partnership of growth. You start dreaming bigger because you've got someone who believes in you. You start healing faster because you've got someone who prays with you, not someone who plays with you. You stop doubting yourself because every time you fall, that person reminds you who you are. That's what real love does. It multiplies your strength and divides your pain. Now, don't get it twisted. Real love isn't perfect. It's not always smiles, roses, and sunshine. Sometimes it's late nights, hard talks, and learning how to forgive. But even in the storms, you both remember why you started. You fight together, not against each other. Because when the foundation is built on respect, trust, and faith, no argument can shake it. That's why I say, a power couple isn't made by money or looks. It's made by mission. When two people share purpose, the world can't stop them. A real man will never be intimidated by a woman's success. He'll celebrate it. He'll clap for her louder than anyone else. Get off all? And a real woman won't try to change a man's dream. She'll help him chase it harder. Together, they create something bigger than love. They create legacy. Because the right relationship doesn't just feel good, it does good. It inspires others to believe that real love still exists, love that builds, not breaks. I've seen what happens when two people walk in purpose together. Doors open that neither of them could open alone. Blessings flow because God recognizes alignment. It's like heaven looks down and says, "No, that's what I designed love to look like." You see, love is not supposed to distract you from your destiny. It's supposed to drive you toward it. That's how you know it's real. And if you're waiting for that kind of love, don't chase it, prepare for it. Become the person who attracts that energy. Because when you know your purpose, you won't fall for someone who slows it down. You'll recognize who's meant to walk with you and who's meant to teach you a lesson. Let me tell you something. Love without purpose is like a ship without direction. It might float for a while, but eventually it drifts off course. When a real man and a real woman come together with purpose, everything changes. They don't just fall in love, they rise in love. Because real love isn't about losing yourself in another person. It's about finding a stronger version of yourself through them. When love has purpose, it's not just emotional, it's transformational. It becomes a force that pulls both people closer to who they're meant to be. You see, most people think love is supposed to make you happy all the time. But real love isn't always comfortable. It's constructive. It challenges you to grow, to face your fears, to confront your flaws. It holds up a mirror and says, "Here's what you need to work on if you want to be the best version of yourself." And the beautiful part, you're not doing it alone. You've got someone who's growing with you, not against you. That's purpose-driven love. A real man doesn't just tell his woman he loves her. He leads her with integrity. He shows up when life gets heavy. He provides stability when the world feels shaky. And he protects her peace like it's his own. And a real woman doesn't just support a man. She strengthens him. She speaks life into him when he's doubting himself. She prays over his dreams and reminds him that he's capable of more than he thinks. That's the kind of partnership that moves mountains. Now, don't get me wrong, purpose-driven love isn't perfect. It has its arguments, its silence, its tears. But it also has forgiveness, faith, and a reason to keep fighting. When both people know why they're together, they stop wasting energy on drama and start focusing on destiny. They understand that it's not about who's or wrong. It's about how they move forward together. See, love without purpose fades when the excitement fades. But love with purpose grows stronger with time. It becomes deeper, wiser, more sacred. It's not based on looks, money, or status. It's built on loyalty, respect, and shared vision. Two people chasing something bigger than themselves. That's why when real love walks into your life, it doesn't just add happiness, it adds meaning. And if you're still waiting for that kind of love, don't lose hope. But here's the key. Find your purpose first. Because purpose attracts purpose. You'll never attract someone who's clear about where they're going while you're still lost about where you stand. Get grounded in who you are. Build your dream. Heal your wounds. And then when love comes, it won't be a distraction. It'll be divine alignment. Let me leave you with this. Real love isn't a fairy tale. It's a faith story. It's not about perfection. It's about partnership. It's about two people who decide every single day to show up for each other even when life gets messy. Because the truth is, real relationships aren't built in comfort. They're built in commitment. When a man truly knows his purpose and a woman truly knows her worth, they don't come together to fill emptiness. They come together to expand greatness. You see, love isn't something you chase. It's something you prepare for. You don't find it by luck. You attract it by growth. You attract it by healing, by learning, by becoming the kind of person who's ready for the love they desire. Because when the time is right, God doesn't send you a distraction. He sends you a destiny. And when that love arrives, it won't make you feel small. It won't confuse you. It won't play games. It will give you peace, strength, and direction. That's how you'll know it's real. Because it won't just look good. It will do good. It will build you. It will stretch you. And it will remind you what you're capable of when love meets purpose. So don't settle for almost. Don't chase validation. Don't let fear convince you to accept less than you deserve. Become so rooted in who you are that when the right person comes, your souls recognize each other, not from loneliness, but from purpose. Because when a real man meets a real woman, they don't just fall in love, they rise in purpose. They don't complete each other, they complement each other. They don't just make promises, they build a future. And when that happens, both their lives level up, not because they needed each other to survive, but because together they learn how to thrive.